This is your TNJ.
Wow.
And as you open and close your mouth, the disc slides forward and back. First is when the disc is stuck in front, and when you open your mouth, the joint eventually clicks into place, and then when you start closing, it slides back, but right at the end, the disc pops back forward again. So if you hear regular clicking in your joint, you may have this type of displacement. The second type is a disc displacement without reduction, which means that disc just stays in front and blocks movement. So in the first type, where your joint clicks in and out of place, if we can stretch the joint in the right way and balance the forces on the head and neck, we can actually get it to stick back in place and return to normal activity. In the second type, where the disc just stays in front, it's much less likely that we're going to be able to get it back into position. It's possible, but not likely. But here's the good news. You actually have tissue that goes from this disc all the way to the bone. It's called retrodiscal tissue. And over time, we can actually stretch this disc more and more forward till it's actually totally out of the way. That tissue back there will thicken up and create what's called a pseudodisc. So you'll have another disc.
It was going really good until he got to that part. If you're pushing your meniscus out, you physiologically don't have the proper space to contain and maintain that disc in the right place. The answer is not to push it completely out of the joint and get you to function on those retrodiscal tissue, as he mentioned, because you will tear through those and put a hole right through it and then go to bone and start reshaping the bone into what we call a bird beak. This is absolutely where he went wrong. Everything else about it, the beginning, is correct, but the main question is that why are we displacing that meniscus? Not just the fact that it is displaced. We can't just accept that as a reality. We need to figure out why that disc was displaced, and in many instances it's because the head of the condyle is not in the correct position. What determines that the position of the head of the condyle? If you said the bite, you're on the right track. Congratulate yourself, because you now know more than most dentists.